everybody, welcome back to my book channel. How are you doing today? Today we are going to discuss my ambitious May TBR. My May TBR is going to be themed for Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month because yay, that's May, and I'm also Asian, so I thought, let's do it. Let's get it done. This, I will say, is a lot more than when I did my Black History Month TBR. But because there's just like, I wanted to get a good selection of Asians, you know, from different backgrounds. Because I think when people think Asians, they think East Asian only, and only occasionally think of maybe a couple Southeast Asian. So I wanted to make sure I got East, West / the Middle East, because the Middle East, depending on who you ask, is Asian. And then I got South Asian and Southeast Asian. So I tried getting at least one from every section. And then what else was I gonna say? I don't know. I actually ended up with quite a few Southeast Asian, which was not necessarily intentional, but I could be biased because I am Southeast Asian and Middle Eastern, so that's cool. If you don't know, I am Indonesian and I'm also Lebanese and then Norwegian, but this isn't about them. So yeah, I did already start reading a couple of these because I could not wait. So I'll start with my electronic ebook, audiobook ones first. So the audiobook that I'm currently listening to is See You in the Cosmos by Cheng. And okay, although the narrator, where am I saying? It's like a full cast narration, which I think is so lovely. And the main character is a child, and it's actually narrated by a child, which is wild to me, and it's so enjoyable because you're like, oh my gosh, it's crazy. Like a lot of other books surrounding like children or teenagers are like voiced by adults, like the Ray Bear series and like the Tristan Strong series. They're all narrated by those who are narrated by adults. And I believe, like, Sadie was also narrated fully by adults. I'm not entirely sure, though. Don't quote me on that. But See You in the Cosmos actually has the main character is being narrated by a child, by an actual child. It's wild. And it's really good, too. I think it's a middle grade. So that's fun as well. The other audiobook I have is called A Burning by Megha Majumdar. Yeah. I don't really know what it's about, but it's been on my, like, wish list for a while, so I thought, perfect time, let's listen to that. And then the ebook I have is a collection of short stories. It's an anthology. I've been hitting a bunch of anthologies lately. A bunch. This is the third anthology. What am I talking about? And it's called How to Pronounce Knife, and it's by Souvankham Thammavongsa. Yeah, I think. I'll have to double check how to pronounce her name. And she's Laotian, and I don't see a lot of Laotian rep anywhere, so I thought that was pretty cool. Okay, the only Laotian rep I'm aware of is, like, King of the Hill, but I don't know how, like, good rep that is, because, like, stereotypes and whatever. But, yeah, I've never read anything by anyone Laotian, and you don't really see them anywhere, so, yeah. Super excited. Also, I've already started reading that too, and I've read a couple of the short stories, and so far I enjoy it. Now, the physical books. I have a ton of physical books, mostly from the library, and then I have some that I've had myself personally for a little bit, and I haven't read them yet, so let's do the library first. So I'm gonna start talking about a book I've also already started reading last night, and this is Arsenic and Adobo by Manansala. This is a Philippine author. She's Filipina. And surprisingly, she grew up in Chicago, I think. So I'm like, oh, Southeast Asian Islander grown up in the upper Midwest, just like me. And so I started reading it. It's a cozy mystery. It's my first like cozy mystery that I've ever read, and so far I really like it because in the first like few pages there's so much stuff that I'm also familiar with as being someone who has a mom from Indonesia. So like it mentioned kopiko already in here, and I just like laughed. I'm like, not the kopiko. And then there's a little like glossary and pronunciation guide in here, which is so funny because the first word is, I don't know how they pronounce it, must have like a hard K, but in Indonesia it's anak, and so in here it's anak, and it means offspring, son, daughter, and it's the same in Indonesian. I think that's really cool. So I'm gonna go tell my mom about that. I'm like, Tagalog and Indonesia, Bahasa Indonesia have a lot of similar words. There's a lot of like exact words that they share, but they have different meanings. But this one is like an exact word with the same exact meaning. It's kind of wild. But yeah, I enjoy it. The whole vibe. So I so far really loving that. I'm only like not even 30 pages in, but I've been enjoying it just because I get it, you know. Islander fam, you know, the whole thing. Anywho, the next ones I think are mostly, these are all like East Asian. I'm not entirely sure of, does it say? Okay, anyways, this is How We Fall Apart by Katie Zhao. Please don't tear into me. I picked, like, I saw this and I kind of like humming and hawing about it. I picked up a couple times and I put it back down, but I really like this because it says on the back, a modern gossip girl for the BIPOC set that serves up urgent insights of class, race, and the brutality of high school striving. It's pretty exciting. It's a young adult, by the way. I'm pretty excited about that. And this author grew up in Michigan. Another Midwestern. Great. We love that. The next one I've been eyeing up forever, and I've been hearing a lot about it, and it's Six Crimson Crayons by Elizabeth Lim. Pretty hype about that. What? Depending on, this is kind of thick comparatively, depending on how I feel about these authors, I hope I like them, so I will check them out again, check out more from them. Yeah, that one's pretty exciting. I've heard a lot of things about that one. Next one I have is Emergency Contact by Mary H.K. Choi, which I've heard mixed things on this, but I also want to read Yoke, I believe, by her, so I'll do that eventually too. And she grew up in Hong Kong and Texas. Yeah. I don't have Yoke in this TBR, but it is, I have had it on like a thing I want to read for a while. Okay, I'm just gonna keep going through this. This one is Darius the Great is Not Okay by Adib Khorram. He is Iranian. I looked it up, so I only have one West Asian author, and I also only have one male author. Otherwise, all of these other authors, I believe, are women. Yeah, all my other authors are women. I just prefer reading women authors. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this. This has been on my list for a while, so yeah. What does it say about this? But I believe, did he also like grow up in the Midwest? Oh, he lives in Kansas City, Missouri. Is Missouri the South? I guess technically. Anyways, this one, the author took me by surprise. This is Dial A for Aunties by, where's her name? Jessie Q Sutanto, and she, I believe, is Indonesian. Yeah, so it says that she grew up shuttling back and forth between Indonesia, Singapore, and Oxford. So I'm surprised that she is like Indonesian. I don't know if she's ethnically like Malay Indo or if she's like Chinese Indo, but because it says if she's shuttling between Indonesia, Singapore, and Oxford, there's a good chance she might be like Chinese Indo, but either way, that's why I thought like the last name sounded like kind of familiar to me, but I'm like, oh well, maybe she's Filipina because they have similar like sounding names sometimes because of just culturally and everything. But yeah, I thought it was pretty cool that I found it like an actual Indonesian author, and that's pretty freaking sick to me. And then the last one I've also heard really good things about it. Like my friends read it and they loved it, so pretty excited about that. And then the last one from the library is Beasts of a Little Lamb by Juhea Kim. Did I say her name right? Juhea? And she moved to Portland. Lives in Portland. I like Portland. Yeah, and then this is a Korean author, so. Okay, where did... Sorry, who did I not mention here? Okay, anyways. Those are all of my ones from the library, and then I have a few that I might get to if I have time. So I have 2 chapbooks from a Kickstarter I backed quite a while ago, and it's published by Tilted Axis Press. I'm still waiting on one of the chapbooks. I haven't gotten that one yet. But the 2 that I have not read, so I got 3 of them initially, and then there's one, I believe, from Tibetan women, but I don't have that one. And I don't know when I'll ever get that one. I sent them a message, didn't get a reply back, so I guess we'll see. But the other one is a Korean poet, and I read all of her stuff, that whole chapbook. And these 2 are called Demon Disciples, Indonesian Women Poets, and then this one is Paluwanag to the Light, and it's written by Filipinas in translation. The Indonesian one is translated by Intan Paramadita, and then the Filipino one is compiled by Gantala Press. So, pretty hype. These are super short. I'll whip through these. And yeah, I'm really excited. I think that these will probably give me similar feelings, even though they're from 2 different ethnic groups. But there's a lot that the Philippines and Indonesia have in common. So, pretty excited about that. I have another like poetry book, and this is why can't I freaking read? Hybrida by Tina Chang, and she is in a mixed race relationship, so she is Chinese, I believe, and her husband is black, so their child is mixed race, like me, which is cool. And I've had this for a long time, actually, I think since 2019, and I haven't read that much of it. I've only read a few of the poems in here, so I kind of want to finish reading all of them because I like hearing from parents of mixed race children, even though I could probably just talk to my parents, but as someone who is also mixed race, I think it's very important to have about it. And it's also a blending of marginalized groups, so, and how, I think there's one poem that I did read about how her child being mixed, and then how her child, I believe, like, I don't know how to word it, but yeah, hyped about that. And then I have 2 other books that I got from the library, but they're from the free section of the library, so I own them. This is another poetry, I believe, or just like short, I don't know what to call this. Maybe vignettes? No, but it's pretty much just straight through. Anyways, this is called Watching the Tree. A Chinese Daughter Reflects on Happiness, Tradition, and Spiritual Wisdom by Adeline Yan Ma. Apparently she's the author of the New York Times bestseller Falling Leaves. Is this? I guess since the old, on the spine it has nonfiction. So I wonder... I really have no clue what it's about, but excited to write or read it. Wow. I think it must be autobiographical a little bit. I don't know. I'm excited though to read it. And the other book that I might read, but I don't think I'm really gonna get to these since I have so much, and this one's pretty big, is the one I had mentioned in a couple TBRs back now, and this is Everything Belongs to Us by Eugen Grace Wirtz. So I don't know if I'm gonna read this since this one's pretty chunky. I really don't know if I'll be able to get it in, but the ones I own are kind of like not my priority. Oh my god, you know what? I forgot. There's one more book that I own that I haven't finished reading. I started reading it a long time ago. I haven't finished it. And it's the Atlas 6 because Olivia Blake is Asian. So Olivia Blake is a pen name, and then I don't remember her actual name, but I believe she is Filipina as well. And I think she's actually mixed race as well, so we got a twofer here. So she's mixed race and Filipina, which is great. We love that. But I haven't finished it. I have the self-published edition, and I've gotten like 50 pages in, and I just haven't finished reading it. I don't know why, I just like stopped. So that's on my list to finish as well. Obviously, the ones I have checked out from the library are my priorities, so this big ol' stack first. And then I think I will prioritize the Atlas 6. I don't know. I don't know, actually. The Atlas 6 is kind of like, I don't want to say dense, but the writing is kind of, like, the text is kind of small, so maybe. But I do want to prioritize these chapbooks as well, just because they're super short, and I can, like, bust these out in a very short amount of time. So those are my priorities. If I can get to Hybrida, that would be cool. If I can get to the Atlas 6, that would be really great because I've just been sitting on it. But I'm going to prioritize 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I am prioritizing 12 books. And then these 3 plus the Atlas 6 will be hopeful, but no guarantee. We'll see what I finish. I'm hoping super ambitious because I just really want to read all the things. I do have quite a lot of young adult, so I think those should be able to, I should be able to like bust those out fairly quickly. Young adult's super easy to read, but stuff that is regular adult is not so easy, you know? But yeah, I have quite a few though. I mean, I'm a little worried about Six Crimson Cranes because it is chunky, but I think I should be okay. I think I can do it. I think I can read all of these in the time frame I'm giving myself. Thank goodness, I've got some days to read, so. Also, there is a second one in her, from this series, I guess. It's not necessarily a series, but there's another one. I can't remember what it's called, but I know it's something in Hollow Hollow, and because like, I remember the cover's like lime green or something. But she did write another one, so since I'm so far liking this, even though I'm not that far into it, hopefully I'll like it enough to check out her other ones too, because I like the idea of a cozy mystery. So yeah. If you are also reading for AAPI month, like me, let me know what authors and books you are planning to read. Hopefully you are reading outside of just East Asian authors, because there's so many other regions and countries in Asia that have fantastic creatives, and you should check them all out. So, especially since, like, okay, Filipinos are one of the larger Asian ethnic groups in the US because of history, which I won't get into right now. So if anything, make sure you check out some Philippine authors. That would be really great. Especially since, okay, I'm not gonna get into all like history and data and all of this stuff, but definitely check out authors outside of just East Asians, because there's so much East Asian rep that it's really important to highlight South, Southeast, West, Middle East. Can we help out? They're West Asian, more or less. So it's very important to expand what Asian is in America. And also with Pacific Islanders as well, try to, it's harder to find Pacific Islander ones, which I think is, I don't know if I would necessarily have put Pacific Islanders in with Asians. I would have put them in like a natives and indigenous month kind of a thing, maybe. I'm gonna cut this out. But yeah, definitely just expand your reading sphere from outside of just East Asian authors. Go find some Southeast Asian authors. Go find South Asian authors. Go find West Asian authors to read, because all of these authors have so much to say and so much to share, and it's a real shame that their voices and their art is not being heard and seen. So please, please, please do not only read Chinese, Korean, and Japanese authors. Please. If you're gonna do a whole, I want to support AAPI, like, don't just read like the big three of East Asia. Please, please, please branch out into other areas. It's important. It's very important to make sure you get a more holistic view of what Asia is and what Asians have to like say. So, because we all don't think the same, obviously. We all have different experiences. So, yeah. Thank you so much for watching. I hope I can read this and hopefully it will be successful like my Black History Month TBR reading. That was super successful as well. I'm really enjoying doing TBRs surrounded or built around history and heritage months. I think it's really cool. So I think you should do the same. Definitely check it out. Yeah, I'm here. Give me the recs. I am all open for more recommendations. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Get reading and enjoy it. I don't know what that was. I'll see you all next time. Bye!